Yo, yo. I think we good. If I can. What? Live on YouTube. Send. Oh, fuck. Good afternoon. Yo, 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 yo. Sup, laser? How we doing? Everything good? I have a strong suspicion that foreign's gonna pump this week. I mean, it could even pump today. Looking at average weekly, could do, maybe not. See what happens, I guess. We're back Monday, bank holiday Monday, at least in the US. So probably not going to be taking any ops. We'll see, but pretty unlikely in my eyes. Still kind of obviously still within Friday's range, Friday's daily candle. right here. I'm gonna make this black. Black on black. Initial reaction out on DXY again is Monday, so we could see that opening manipulation on the week, open high, and potentially to form the high of the week tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on news, which obviously US is still kind of, they haven't decided yet, have they? US have not decided on what they're going to be doing. It's kind of funny. Kind of in this no man's land right now. Tend to wait for Monday to play out. Oh man. Man, oh man. Anyone in any trades? Surely not, right? Well, the EU shorts this morning were nice. Asia range play? You'd have to get in on like the 1 minute if you wanted to do that. Got your shift here. Retrace. Gold. Should we go over gold? Keen to go over gold. Gold, 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 bruh. Everyone loves gold, man. I mean, really, what is there to analyze on gold? It's bullish. Buy it. Wake up. Wake up and buy gold. Period. I think obviously at some point it's going to correct, but I don't think you'll really see a crash as what people are expecting. The hell? Ads?
Enough of this shit'll make you invincible.
Gold. Gold, gold, gold. I mean, what is... It's obviously bullish, right? So, in my opinion, the best thing to do is just only look for buys. No real reason for you to look to short gold. Just buy it, bro. Fuck. Just wake up, buy gold. There's no No need to overcomplicate it. Just look for a session sweep. Let's go. Look for a session sweep and then look for a change in character, change in the state of delivery, whatever you want to call it, and then just buy it. So like here you had an Asia sweep, change in the state of delivery, shift here, probably better on the M5. So at this point I wouldn't look to buy it just yet because I think you're just sketchy. Good buys down here. Nothing really to buy here. Right here. Perfect example here. Obviously, gold is bullish. Nice draw on liquidity here. What else do you look for? You've had Asia lows ran. Cool. You've had a sell side liquidity sweep. Bottom left. Sweep sell side liquidity. Changing character. Or whatever you want to call it. And then you look for your entry models within there. Look for your buys within there. You've obviously got some demand here as well. Ooh, nice reaction out of demand. Where is my... blue? That's all you got to do, man. Look for the trending markets. Wait for sweeps of opposing arrays. Then take the trade, bro. But gold, I don't really have much on now. Obviously, it's US bank holiday, so hence this choppiness. So probably not too much can happen today. So not really interested there. Crypto. No idea what's going on with crypto. That's for the crypto bros to get their heads into. Hey yo, what's up, Thomas? Just kind of chilling. Chilling, killing. Nothing really much to go over, to be honest. Just come on here and vibe out. Where's the vibes, bro? Boring day? Yeah, boring AF, dude. Boring AF. Boring AF. Very niche to go over. I'm gonna just chill here anyway. Hopefully we get some nice opportunities this week. Hopefully gold keeps mooning. Stocks go back up, which they inevitably will. Then we're back in a raging bull market. What's there to trade, bro? EU's heading lower. GU's heading lower. Dollar CAD higher, and then I want to short this. Higher to these relative equal highs, and then I'm shorting. Shorting inside this high of the week, then dollar just dumps. Hi, you trade bank holiday? No. Only if there's. I mean, if there's an opportunity, then I'll take it. Yeah. I mean, shit, I'm not a bank, bro. I'll trade. If there's a trade, I'll trade it. Period. Oh yeah, see, when the futures takes this low, when these CAD futures take this low, then we good. That's when I'll look to buy. When I look to buy the CAD, when we get this, what the fuck? If we get this, nice area, nice little short-term buy, monthly displacement. Yeah. Daily displacement as well. That'll be nice on dollar CAD. One further push higher. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to set an alert on this. I'm going to set an alert on this even though it's delayed. It's not that big of an issue. Yo, what's up, Leroy? How you doing? How you doing, brother? What's good? See, I wanted to short. I think I spoke about this in another stream about shorting EJ. I think was that Thursday? Did I stream on Thursday? When did I stream? Six days ago, maybe it wasn't Thursday. Maybe that was in the Alchemy stream. Yeah, especially like after the antics over the weekend, you can be pretty confident to say there's not really going to be any interesting price action happening. Obviously, we've got this 1:30 open coming up soon. Nothing on the indices, obviously. Boring AF price action. For obvious reasons. I might just change this. So it is each session. That would be kind of nice. This one, right? Bosh. Sick. Sick boy. So I'm expecting, my expectations for EU is lower. Lower into this sell side, lower into this daily BPR, and then see what happens there. Might get a reaction, might not. But yeah. Nothing too crazy. Got a bit of quote unquote SMT during spread hours. Not too big of a deal there. Probably going to be a fairly short live, obviously, because there's nothing really happening, so it's not really too much for us to go over. Buy side equity sweeps here. Fair value gap. Better on the H4, eh? H4. Respecting those arrays very, very nicely. This is your low. Just mark this as black. That's your low. And then ultimately, this one is your external. External low, internal low. This internal low lines up nicely with previous daily low. So that's cool. Remove this actually. It's a bit better. Bosh. Is that black? It doesn't look black. Trickling lower, slowly but surely. Moving lower. It's a boring day. Honestly, no reason for anyone to sit here, so I don't really have too many lessons to go over. We could talk about a couple of things. So let's talk about common struggles So, what common struggles do people tend to experience? I think one of them, well, a lot of them are naturally psychological and emotional. So, trying to regulate your emotions. So you have things like fear of getting stopped out, tying your identity to being right, confirmation bias on the charts. This kind of aligns nicely with your identity being tied to being right. Holding on to prior trades, so like emotional baggage, I guess. Fear of missing out from others winning. So, we're heavily influenced by social media nowadays. So, seeing other people win is going to cause you FOMO, going to cause you to want to do things. Overconfidence, especially, when you have a few winners or whatnot. Analysis paralysis, and too many concepts on your chart, too many things you're looking for, causing you to freeze, to not be able to make decisions. Trading out of boredom, the need for certainty, or having discomfort with randomness. So, how do you address all of these psychological and emotional struggles? So a good thing to do is have an if-then plan, even for emotions. So typically you have an if-then plan for your strategy. So if this happens, then I do that from a technical standpoint. But maybe you should also think about having it for your emotions as well. So if I start feeling fear of missing out, then I walk away from the charts for 5 minutes, or I step away for 5 minutes and go do something else. Keeping performance and self-worth separate. So keeping performance and P&L separate. So being performance based as opposed to outcome orientated. So you're not your P&L, right? Regardless, you are not your P&L. Do something else. So schedule non-trading dopamine activities. So whether that's exercise, journaling, hobbies, doing something of interest. Those are good ones to have. Learning to embrace probabilities and thinking in terms of probabilities. So you have to understand that each trade should lie within an edge, and it's purely based on probabilities rather than the market is maths. It's probabilities. It's not deterministic. So the market doesn't care what drawings you have in your chart or what you think about the charts, right? So it's a probabilistic game. So, a lot of people like to use mindfulness practices, so meditation, somatic grounding, like pre-session, during trading, to help them stay calm. It's always a good thing you can try. Going back and reviewing those trades, going back through them bar by bar and understanding them as well. So, review trading identity phrases as well. So, like, for example, my goal is consistency, not perfection, right? So that way you separate that that identity from your results. It's always a good one to have. What other common struggles are there? Anyone have anything anyone struggles with? There's lots of, I mean, there's so many struggles that people have and that people go through. So anyone want to be vulnerable and say what they're struggling with? Probably not, right? Understandable. It's not easy to dissect. Do you use fundamentals in your analysis? No, I do not. Whilst I have an understanding of fundamentals, I do not apply them into my trading ideas, because I'm trading, intraday. I'm trading very short-term moves. So I don't really incorporate fundamentals into, my trading plan or my trading approach. But I think everyone, regardless if you're a technical trader or not, I mean, if you are a technical trader, I think you still need to understand the mechanics of economics and how markets move. You move my desk up a little bit. So I think you still need to be aware of what moves the market, because ultimately it's not technicals that move the market. It's fundamental macro drivers that impact price for the long term. And obviously, if you can trade in that direction, that's great. That's probably going to increase your chances of winning. But what else do people struggle with? I think ultimately the biggest one is it's going to be when it comes to executing. I think psychology is up there. Technicals is up there as well. But clearly the biggest struggle is execution, because a lot of people can have the right strategy and they can somewhat have a decent psychology, but they can't seem to execute and consistently repeat an edge, because they're either entering too early, they're closing winners too soon, they're moving their stop loss, they're ignoring rollover time, they're upping their risk after they win, they're reducing their risk after they lose, they're not adjusting lot sizes or whatever, they're revenge trading, they're switching time frames mid-trade, overlapping correlations, so they're trading two correlated pairs. A lot of it's down to impulsivity, so short-term emotional reactions. That impulse, there's no thought process behind it. It's a lack of pre-trade parameters, so poor structure. Most people don't have that structure within their trading. It's a lack of understanding of market mechanics, and obviously inconsistent risk control tied to egos and whatnot. So how do you correct all of this? How do you correct your issues with execution? Now, the biggest way that we found is to have a pre-trade checklist. So most people don't have a pre-trade checklist. They don't have a mechanical edge. The majority of people now are trying to trade, discretionary. I don't fully believe. Obviously, there are exceptions, but I think for the vast majority of people, they can't trade discretionary, especially in the early days. I think it's just you're just gonna, double your learning curve, triple, quadruple your learning curve. It's just not going to be a pleasant experience for you, because I did it myself. I am a victim. I'm not a victim, but I did the same thing where I thought I was better than a mechanical approach. So I was like, I don't need to follow rules. Like, I know how the markets work. And then you just go down this slippery slope, this rabbit hole, going around in circles, trying to trade a different strategy, but you never have any rules in place for the strategy. So you never see any level of consistency or anything like that. It's difficult to just leave your system alone and not constantly trying to add things to it to strengthen it, I find. 100%. I think ultimately it's good to refine over time. I think refinement is inevitably needed. However, how and when you do that refinement is very, very important. Like you said, most people are just constantly try to add things because of the outcome of one individual trade, right? So something happens, they get stopped out, they think, oh, I should have just moved my stop. And then they start moving their stop without any clear reasoning that backs up that decision. So anything that you do, anything that you change within your system has to be backed by some level of data. But like you said, most people just can't leave a system alone. Most people can't trade consistently because it's boring doing the same thing over and over again. Consistency, it's not glamorous, it's not fun. It's just you doing the same thing over and over again. And people come into trading thinking that they're going to have all this exciting thing. They're going to be able to, make these fast-paced decisions. But it's really not the way it is. The way to true consistency is having a clear edge and just doing it every day. And that's boring. But it makes money, People would rather be entertained than make money, it seems. So again, within the mentorship, within the way that we trade, having clearly defined stops and targets is going to help your decision making process. A lot of people try and choose different targets, which I think is fine. But again, it just leaves the door open for emotional decision making, and again, changing your strategy and your rules after every trade. We know it's impossible to have a 100% win rate, yet we're always striving to get as close to it as possible. That's the rabbit hole. That is the rabbit hole indeed. It's natural for us as humans. We just crave certainty. We want to know. We have this need to know what's going to happen. Or, if I'm going to lose this trade or not, or what. But the reality is that's trading. Trading is purely uncertain. If I take a trade, if you take a trade, you have no idea what the outcome is going to be. You don't. You can say, like, over X number of trades, I can statistically gauge that I'll come out on profit, but you know, you're gonna lose. And ultimately, based on Tom Hugard and every other trader that I've met, is the best loser wins. You know, if you can learn to lose gracefully, then those are very often the best performing traders, because they don't tie their self-worth, their self-esteem, their self-image to a losing trade or the outcome of a losing trade. They're always process driven. So stop trying to be right. Everyone's always trying to be right and to prove each other wrong. It's like every time I go on Twitter nowadays, everyone's full of ego. Everyone's just like trying to one-up each other. Like, oh, bro, you know, I knew it was going to go down. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares if it goes down? The only tally that matters in trading is your P&L. I know it kind of contradicts what I just said, but you know, being right and wrong, it's irrelevant. Do you backtest the exact same way you trade, or just the entry? No, obviously there's nuances in a backtest and trading a live market. So a backtest for me is I'm just trying to gauge the expectations, the raw expectations of the strategy and my sort of baseline. Once I figure out my baseline, then, you know, if I start falling below that baseline, I can, you know, start evaluating, okay, why am I now dropping significantly below my baseline? Is it because of execution error? Is it because, you know, market cycles? What is it? Excuse me. But for the most part, backtest and live is the same in principle, but like I said, there's inevitably going to be some nuances with how you approach each differently. Obviously, in a live market, there is more consideration for news, news announcements, and potential trade management. Trading Twitter is a shit show. Hey, tell me about it, Red Rose. People on Friday saying they could predict the crash because the daily candle didn't have a bottom wick yet. Yeah, I mean, it's just pure hindsight. And like I said, none of it matters. It's just like an ego fest. People with fragile egos attacking other people with fragile egos. It's just like, who cares, bro? Focus on making money. Period. The way to make money is to consistently follow a system. Most people don't have systems. They have opinions. And they're trying to trade their opinion. That ain't never going to work. Respectfully. I created this model, no, I created that model, that's my model, that's all I ever see on that. Yeah, exactly. It's like, fuck. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it anymore. I've spent way too many years on social media. So once I start seeing that, I'm checked out. I'm not even entertaining that. I'll hop on Twitter once a week maybe. And then I'm like, why did I ever come on this app? And then I go off it again. It's just a very bizarre space. Very bizarre. Am I in CAD? CAD what? Dollar CAD? No. Why? Should I be? Dollar CAD or just CAD futures? I think CAD goes lower. Dollar CAD? No, I'm not in dollar CAD. I think dollar CAD heads higher there, ultimately. As shown by the arrow. Reason for that, I mean, ultimately dollar looks bullish. So, number one, dollar looks bullish. CAD looks very bullish. And then CAD futures as well. We've got these relative equal lows down here. So I'm expecting weakening in the CAD, strengthening in the dollar, you know, into this whole daily array. I mean, this is technically this whole thing here. And then I'm going to look for shorts. Somewhere around here if they present. Nice monthly area as well. So potential shorts later in the week. I think it's a good target, these relative equal highs up here. You could get in long, but again, it's not really something that I trade sort of after this sweep of these lows. See a shift here. I mean, you can call it a unicorn. So you could buy it after the close up there. A decent buy, to be honest. That's something you're into. Solid internal targets as well. Let me just change that there. Yo, what's up, Luke? Ain't nothing happening, Luke, brother. Wallahi. Yeah, slow Monday. Tomorrow or Wednesday, I think we'll see some shit. I think we'll see something on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's DXY. That's not what I wanted. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mid to late week. Got to keep an eye on Orange Man's Twitter between China and the US. That would be kind of funky. Obviously, we still got tentative news, so God knows what's going to happen if US Congress ever get their ass into gear. If they decide to come back to work, then it might be interesting. CT long on, what do you mean? EU? Or is that what you mean? I'm not taking a fucking long there, bro. No, that's not what you mean. Surely not. What do you think of seasonality? Is it a meme? Is it a meme? No. Seasonality is definitely not a meme. Seasonality is for sure a real thing. Is it as good? I don't know if good's the right word. Is it as consistent or predictable in currencies? Maybe not. It's probably better in things like gold and equities. Now, what you saying? Maybe tomorrow or Wednesday trade? Yeah. On a short. Do I want to short dollar CAD? Yeah, I want to short this. Let's bet on this. Let's bet on this shit. Could get some little something. That's what I want. And I want crypto to moon as well. BAT up 27%. The hell is BAT? I mean, they just have random cryptos in this, whatever this is. Holy shit. This is my desync buys. Bought it at 25 cents. I mean, it's 62% drop. W trade. Omnom. Did I get an Omnom? Oh, Jesus. Doge eat Doge? Okay. See, like, what the hell is this? Sonic? What's Sonic? Sonic. Do I have Sonic here? No. Pepe? Rune? Holy shit, Rune's a good buy. Low-key? Low-key, should I buy this? Ooh. Sonic was FTM before. Is Sonic still like Sonic? Sonic was FTM before. Did I have some Phantom? FTM is Phantom, right? No. If you type only S. Oh, the hell? Oh, it's just S? Is that what it is? Oh, the hell? It's weird. So which one is it then? I don't know, crypto, man. Rune. This actually looks potential for like just a little ping. Because I mean, upside is a bit of a joke, to be honest with you. Purely from a technical standpoint, like I have no idea about fundamentals in crypto. But does anyone really know about fundamentals in crypto? I don't think so. This is like... I'm gonna put that on my list. I might have to look into that later. You sold Sonic around break even just before the crash. Smart man. Solana still look good, to be honest. Let me take away this Bollinger Band. Quite like the Bollinger Band there. Leave that. Remove that. Quantum, QTN, QNT, no, Uni. Yikes. No cryptos have fundamentals. When I got into the space, people reason for buying coins was they thought the ticket was cool. Yeah, for sure. I think crypto used to be about, oh bro, the technology, like, wow, it's going to change the world. Now it's just about what's the biggest meme? What's the thing you can pump the most? But the game's the game. Atom. What is Atom? I don't have any BTC anymore either. Nah, me neither, bro. Sold everything around 105k. Yeah, dude. I had my fun with crypto, and now it's just like, if I got a bit of change left over, I'll just throw it in for a couple of bets. But it's just a gamble at that point, right? It's part of the fun. Holy shit, Binance coin. Damn. The hell are they doing over at Binance? Jesus. I think it's probably a good time just to buy some pumpable altcoins there. Not that I really know any altcoins. Like, I don't know what's the good altcoins to buy. Tom Lee's company was down 1.9 billion on Ethereum buys on Friday, if you know who Tom Lee is. I don't know who Tom Lee is. I mean, these prices are at all-time lows. That's outrageous. And Zcash is, I mean, there we go. Zcash pumped. Shiba Inu goes to 100 USD. No, there's no way. Shiba. Wait, is this the right thing? Shib, right? Yeah, Shiba Inu. Yeah, fucking hell. That goes to 100. That goes to 100 USD. I will eat my own. Yeah. That. XRP, bro. What a. Yeah. What a crypto XRP. Yeah, dude, XRP gave me the biggest headache. It's just, crypto's one of those where you just gotta throw some money in and then forget about it. And then if you hear things about it, then you check your wallet. But if you don't hear anything about it, it's probably not worth checking your wallet. It's just outrageous. I invested in some DOT. Kind of pretty low prices. So I'm like, send this to the moon. DOT is a good project. Yeah, bro. That's why. I mean, I don't even know what the project is, to be fair, but just gonna fucking send it, bro. Just gonna send it because, I mean, it's minimal risk at that point. The risk to reward is just a bit of a joke, so at that point, you almost just might as well put some money in. I don't really know what else to buy there. Maybe some Rune, although I know nothing about Rune. But the potential is hefty. Is that a 4-hour candle just opened? Yep. Alright, boys. I'm gonna probably call it. Oh, 2 p.m. I'm gonna hit the gym and get some lunch. Oh. hit the gym, get some lunch, and I'll catch you people later. So, enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. And I'll speak to you all soon, maybe. Ciao, ciao.